Please adhere to YouTube's selected guidelines before viewing the content of this video. I do not encourage or condone any products, actions, or behaviors shown in this video. All videos are produced in a safe, professional, and controlled environment. Please do not attempt to replicate any actions performed during the video. All actions are performed by professionals.
Alright, so today I'm going to be eating Hatsune Miku potato chips from Japan, which cost me under $1.50 USD. For that price, I got 65 grams of Calbee sea salt potato chips, which I have never tried before and which have Hatsune Miku on the front of them. Calbee is currently running a limited time Hatsune Miku collaboration with 4 different limited edition collectible Hatsune Miku potato chip bags that you can look for. This is just one of the designs, and overall it looks pretty good in my personal opinion. But will the chips inside this bag actually be pretty good as well? Well, I don't know, but I'm looking forward to finding out, let me tell y'all what. Before I go ahead and actually get this bag all opened up though, I do first off want to cover the packaging, as in all honesty, that's the reason why I bought these chips right here. After I cover the packaging, I'm gonna go ahead and get this bag all opened up. I'm gonna let you guys know what the chips actually smell like, and then after that, I'm gonna go ahead and actually eat some Hatsune Miku potato chips from Japan, and I'm gonna be letting y'all know just how these are, what they're like, and whether I actually enjoy eating them or not. After I'm done eating, I'm gonna go ahead and give you guys my final thoughts on these chips, and I'm gonna give them a rating as well. But first off, as said, we've gotta go over the packaging, which in my opinion looks fantastic. The standard Calbee salted potato chip packaging already looks good if you ask me, but with Hatsune Miku on the front, it just sends it over the edge into being a work of art. Frankly put, I am a huge fan of this packaging. We can see there is a gold border at the top and the bottom, with the middle of the packaging being that of a metallic, dark, royal blue, almost night sky sort of color. There are a bunch of like wave or fan designs up in the corner over here. Those are all in silver with a bunch of blue silver sort of clouds over here with a bunch of swirls and whatnot. And in the bottom we can see there are some more of those swirls just going all the way down just like that. And we can also see there's a bunch of silver dots just up here, making it look like the packaging is that of the night sky. And I think that makes sense because in the foreground, we see Hatsune Miku eating a potato chip. She's got the drip on. She's got some hair sort of thingamajigs on. I don't know what to call them, but they look pretty good. And she's also got a kimono or a yutaka, or I don't know the words for different Japanese clothing, I'll acknowledge. But what I do know is that her drip is on point. She's wearing a nice light blue something with a nice ribbon, a nice red ribbon in the back, and we can see that there are some flowers and also some sort of like fan or wave designs down here and whatnot. Overall, Hatsune Miku is dripped out and she's just eating a potato chip. And in my opinion, what they're trying to do with this packaging is make it look like Hatsune Miku is at a summer festival during the night or something like that kind of thing. She's got the drip on, she's eating potato chips, she's eating some snack food. They're trying to make it look like she's at some sort of summer festival or something like that. That's my take at least, and I think they've done a good job at doing exactly that. We can see in the middle there is some black Japanese text with a white background under it, with around that white background there being a gold border, and overall looks pretty good. I can't remember exactly what this says, but I think it says salted potato chips or something along those lines, and right under that we get an image of the potato chips themselves, which I'll be frank, looks really good. We can also see there is an acknowledgement right here or something along those lines. I think this is talking about how they only use sea salt on these potato chips. I can't remember exactly what it says though, but I did translate this packaging before the video. I've just forgotten what it says. That's my bad, I will acknowledge. Maybe I should just pause the video for a moment and take a photo of the packaging after the video and just put the photo of the packaging with the translation just like right here or something along those lines. So you guys can pause the video if you guys want to take a look at what it actually says. But with that now gone, let's go ahead and continue looking at the packaging just a little bit more. We can see Hatsune Miku's hair over here kind of goes down and off to the side and off of the real design of the packaging. But on this side, it goes all the way around and over just like that. We can see that there's some lines, some silver lines kind of stretching up just like that as well, almost looking like the 9 lines in a music notebook or something like that kind of thing, which makes sense because Hatsune Miku is a Vocaloid. She be making that music, you know what I'm saying? And on the very bottom, just says 65 grams right there, has another thing saying 100% sea salt, and then says Hatsune Miku right there, both in English and in Japanese. And then it says the art is by this person, copyright CFM. I don't know exactly what that means, but that's who the art is by. Shout out them. They did a great job, I will acknowledge. And overall, I gotta admit, this packaging looks fantastic. I am a fan of the packaging of the Calbee Hatsune Miku salted potato chips. I will acknowledge, certainly no complaints on my behalf. She got the drip on, the packaging got the drip on, it looks good, and is 4 out of 4 packaging that not only looks good, but also does a good job advertising and does a good job telling you all the information you might want to know. And that's pretty much all that's going on with the front of the packaging. Just wanted to do a quick overview, so there might be some specific details I missed, but that's the quick overview right there. Let's go and move on to the back of the packaging, which on this side has some details about Hatsune Miku and whatnot that I'll cover in just a moment. But overall, the back of the packaging is much more informational than the front. We see that gold on the top and the bottom once again, and then overall we just get a white background in the middle with the nutritional facts and ingredients right here. These are gluten-free and dairy-free, as am I, and I checked the ingredients to make sure that was the case before I even purchased this bag. I will acknowledge I would have not bought this bag if they hadn't been gluten-free and dairy-free, because there's no point in me buying something if I can't eat it. I will acknowledge. But yep, just has all of the nutritional facts and everything like that, and the barcode and whatnot all on this side. And over on this side, it has some more information about the factory it came from. I think this one came from a factory in Gifu, if I remember correctly. I cannot remember though, so I might be wrong, but you guys can look and find out if you guys know. But below this information right here, we get more information, but not about the chips, instead about Hatsune Miku. There is apparently some sort of AR thing. You can scan this QR code and do some augmented reality stuff with Hatsune Miku or something like that kind of thing. I didn't see or try that out before this video, but I figure if you like scan that QR code, you're taken to a website and you can be like taking a photo of where you are and Hatsune Miku will be there or something like that kind of thing, which pretty cool if that is actually the case. We can see above that though, we get a white sort of background with some of those fans on it once again, and then we see the Calbee sort of logo right there, X Hatsune Miku, which is pretty neat. And then under that, we get some other text saying that there's like 4 limited edition collectible designs, and then under that we get an explanation as to who Hatsune Miku is with another photo of Hatsune Miku right there. This is very much Hatsune Miku hitting the classic Miku pose without a doubt, and you know, dripped out once again, I will acknowledge, and just says art by K at CFM, and shout out to the artist once again. And that's pretty much all there is on the back of the packaging. Overall, for potato chip packaging, I think this stuff looks great, and I got no complaints on my behalf, let me tell y'all what. But while I might have no complaints on my behalf about the packaging, will I have no complaints on my behalf about the chips themselves? Well, let's go ahead and get the bag all opened up, and let's find out in a minute, because actually real quick, I want to grab myself a screenshot for the thumbnail of the video. Almost forgot to do that before I opened up this bag of chips. Let's grab a thumbnail real quick. Alrighty, now that we have a screenshot for the thumbnail of the video, hopefully that will work for a screenshot for the thumbnail of the video. Well, now that we have a screenshot for the thumbnail of the video, hopefully one of those will work. We will find out. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get this bag all opened up. And let's go ahead and smell these potato chips real quick, if I can get it opened up. I want to get it opened up without damaging the bag too much, and thankfully I was able to do that. I'm going to go ahead and just open it up just a little bit and just smell these, and man, they do smell good. They smell very crispy, very savory, quite salty, and just quite good as a whole. I can definitely tell just right off the bat, based off the smell, that these are definitely fried in, I don't know. I'm not that much of an expert on potato chips. I was just messing around on this, honestly. But you can definitely tell, fried. They smell a little bit greasy. They really have a nice sort of greasy smell to them. A nice, greasy, salty potato chip smell. I've had some potato chips that just don't smell nearly salty or greasy enough, and they just don't be to my personal preference. These, on the other hand, they smell a little bit greasy, a little bit salty, and they smell great, frankly put. Potato, salt, and grease, that's what I'm smelling, and these smell great. Let's go ahead and now get this bag opened up all the way, and let's go ahead and now get one of these chips out and just take a look at it. We can see this is not a super evenly fried potato chip, and it's also folded over as well. There's some potato chip manufacturers that really like to pride themselves on making flat, even potato chips. Calbee appears to not be one of those. These are bent. In fact, most of the potato chips in the bag are bent to some extent, which I don't think is a bad thing at all, because honestly, bent chips kind of goated because extra crunch, and I like my crunchy chips, I will admit. Smells great. Just seeing my fingers, they definitely do have a little bit of grease on them now, without a doubt, so these are definitely nicely fried. They feel, just feeling them, like they're gonna be a little bit crunchy. Nice, a little bit of browning on them as well. As said, not the most insanely evenly fried chips by any means. There's thick areas, there's thin portions, but I'm thinking these are gonna be solid. They smell good, they look good, but do they taste good? Let's find out. They're solid. Could use more salt. They're solid. Yeah. Not pretty good. I got no complaints on my behalf. Yeah. Pretty solid stuff. Yeah. Hatsune Miku potato chips. Pretty good. I don't mind them. Yeah. All right. After having had a couple of them, I can definitely say that the crunch from these is super nice. Like, honestly, a very solid, like 4 out of 4 crunch. There's some potato chips that, while they taste really good, they just don't have the crunch quite like I want. These have the crunch exactly like I want. These are really nice. Could be a little bit crunchier, but I'm really not gonna complain in all honesty, because these are already crunchy enough for me. Solid 4 out of 4 on the crunchy scale. Saltiness wise, I'd say they're like a low 3 out of 4. Honestly, I do think they could be more salty, but the saltiness that is there is really nice. And you can definitely tell it's not an insanely highly processed type of salt, or it probably is an insanely highly processed type of salt, but it just doesn't taste quite as processed as some other salts on potato chips out there. And it definitely does have a sea salt-like flavor to it. So yeah, overall, these are pretty nice, saltiness-wise. Definitely needs more salt in my opinion. But the saltiness that is there is very much sort of a sea salt. And the saltiness that is there is a very nice, clean tasting salt that is very solid. greasiness wise, I'd have to say these chips are like a solid, probably like 3.8 out of 4 when compared to other potato chips that I've tried in the past, which might not be as greasy. These are definitely a little bit greasier than them. I would say on a greasiness and honestly on a crunch scale, these are about the same as kettle chips from the United States, which are, ironically, my favorite potato chips from the United States. Now, I don't really eat many potato chips anymore, but I like these. I like these. I like my kettle chips, and the crunch and the greasiness is pretty comparable between these and kettle chips. I like them. Yeah. But I would say that kettle chips, they tend to not be quite as bent. And since a lot of the chips in this bag are kind of bent over themselves, they almost come across as being more crunchy due to that. But if they weren't folded over, they would be about the same as kettle chips if you ask me. However, I will acknowledge that these are a little bit more thinly cut than kettle chips. They're not quite as thick cut. So while there is more crunch, there's also somehow less crunch, but it evens out to be about the same amount of crunch as a kettle chip. Yeah, solid. Really, my only complaint about these is that they're not more salty. In my opinion, they really do need more salt. And while I do like the salt that is on them, I think the sea salt really complements the flavor of the potato and the grease quite a lot. It just needs more salt. It just needs more salt. That's my take, I will acknowledge. These chips would be better if they had more salt, but overall they're still pretty solid. To fully describe the flavor of the chips I'm eating right now, I would say it's very much that of a savory, salty, slightly sweet flavor overall. And the main flavor you really get is that of a greasy potato flavor. I'm not exactly sure what that greasy flavor is. It's either, I don't know if it's peanut or if it's soy oil or just vegetable oil, I'm not sure. Either way though, the grease is really nice. Apparently there's a little bit of kelp extract in these cigarettes. This is not one of those. This is a bag of chips. Apparently there is kelp extract in these chips as well. Probably in the salt or something like that, which definitely gives them an almost sort of sea-like taste, like a sea salt taste. Or more of sort of like, I guess, an ocean taste, like they kind of have almost a flavor of how the ocean smells, kind of thing. I guess is really the right way of putting it. But overall, the Calbee Hatsune Miku sea salt potato chips have a flavor of, I would definitely have to say, savory greasiness with saltiness and a little bit of sweetness right under all of that, with specific flavor notes of, I would have to say, slightly sweet, slightly sweet, but mostly savory potato with grease. And then under that, there is that salty flavor, which is definitely a little bit mild, but that salty flavor has depth on its own. It definitely tastes like sea salt, and I think that kelp extract is definitely making it taste like the ocean a little bit more so than not. So overall, these chips right here are very much that of a, I would have to say, savory, greasy, salty, slightly sweet, crunchy, potato with a little bit of sweetness, but mostly savoriness. Then under that, there's that greasy flavor. Then under that, there is that salty flavor, and it's very much that of sea salt with a little bit more ocean flavor even under that. And that's very much what these chips taste like. There's not an insane amount of depth to the flavor of these chips, I will acknowledge. However, I don't think there's meant to be. They are 7-Eleven convenience store potato chips, and they didn't cost a lot of money. They're not meant to taste like the most crazy thing in the world. You're probably meant to pair them with a beer, in all honesty, or something along those lines. And frankly put, I do think that these would pair amazingly with some alcohol, whether it be hard cider, sake, maybe a strong zero. I think these would pair amazingly with any of those, I will acknowledge. Maybe with a smoke as well, who knows? But overall, these are pretty solid. Taste, pretty good. Really, my main complaint about the taste is that they need more salt. But yeah. The taste is good. It's not particularly mild. It is a pretty, just kind of up there sort of taste. It's right there. You don't have to go searching for the flavor. But there are undertones to the chips that you might want to go searching for. Up front, very much savory, slightly sweet, salty. Potato, grease. And then under that, there's that sea salt. A little bit more ocean sort of flavor, probably coming from that kelp extract. And that's what the flavor of these chips is actually like. And overall, crunch-wise, these are fantastic. I really like the crunch of these chips, I will acknowledge. Cut-wise, I think they're really good as well. They're thin, so they're very light on the stomach. At least right now they are. I didn't eat the whole bag, though. I don't want to eat the whole bag right now, but they're very thinly cut, but they're kind of folded over, so they come across as being more crunchy than they would otherwise be. So, good crunch, good cut, very light cut. That makes them not sit on your stomach super heavily, which is really nice. And overall, just a really nice flavor. Good flavor, good crunch, good cut, and just good chips, frankly put. Really, my only complaint about these are that the Hatsune Miku collaboration is not permanent, and that they need more salt. These need more salt. That's really my only real complaint about these chips. But you know what? Excuse me? I can always add more salt at a later point in time. Now, can't I? I can always put my own salt on there. Not gonna do that today, right now, because I don't have any salt with me, I will acknowledge, but really, the only thing that could make these chips any better is if they had more salt. That's my take, at least I will acknowledge. They need to make an extra salted version of these chips. Maybe they already do, I don't know. Not sure, haven't seen them. But if they don't, they should. That's my take. Overall, now that I've kind of given you guys, I hope, a good idea of what these chips are like, and now that I've gotten a good idea of what these chips are like for myself, what are my final thoughts on them? Do I like them? Would I buy a bag again in the future, and am I going to enjoy eating the rest of the bag? Yes, yes, and yes. Really, as said, my only complaint is that they need more salt. But overall, very solid chips that I would not mind buying again in the future, and I will certainly enjoy eating the rest of this bag later on today. For me, these are a solid 3.8 out of 4 on my chip rating scale. For me, a 3.8 out of 4 means that these are chips that I would absolutely buy again. They're chips that I'm going to enjoy eating the rest of, and they're chips that I honestly would recommend to other people. But they're not the best thing ever. And that's simply due to the fact that they need more salt. But overall, 3.8 out of 4 for these chips. If they had more salt, they would be a 4 out of 4. But 3.8 out of 4 for these chips, I will acknowledge. The Hatsune Miku got more jumbled up, I will acknowledge. The Hatsune Miku potato chips from Japan, very solid in my personal opinion. And if I see another bag of these again in the future, I will be tempted to buy another bag with the Hatsune Miku collaboration on the front. That is for sure. 3.8 out of 4 for the Hatsune Miku potato chips. If you guys have tried these chips in the past, let me know in the comments down below what you guys think of them. As said, solid chips that I would buy again and that I'm going to enjoy eating the rest of the bag of. but they do need more salt, and that's what's holding them back from a 4 out of 4. But hope you guys have enjoyed watching this video. If you guys have enjoyed watching this video where I ate Hatsune Miku potato chips from Japan next to a river in Japan, hope you guys... I'm getting my words all jumbled up. Hope you guys have enjoyed watching this video where I think I low-key need some I need some smoke, I'm not gonna lie. I need some nicotine low-key. I'm feeling a bit out of it. Maybe some alcohol too. But hope you guys enjoyed watching this video where I ate and reviewed the Hatsune Miku potato chips from Japan. If you guys did indeed enjoy watching this video on these chips, of course, make sure to like and subscribe for more content. I have my Instagram, my book, my merch, my P.O. box. Not my P.O. box, that's actually closed right now, but I have everything other than that in the description down below. Go check it all out. Appreciate y'all watching. Until the next one, stay safe and peace, and have a great one. Yes, sir, you know what I'm saying?